Hello, everyone. This is English only. The most common important nutrient deficiencies. Part number one. 가장 흔하고 중요한 영소 결핍 제1부. And remember, this is English only. What are the most common important nutrient deficiencies? According to many health professionals, many doctors, many people, there are 8 most common nutrient deficiencies. But according to 제1부, you start diet plan. According to 제1부, NEWSTART healthcare plan. According to the best NEWSTART healthcare plan, there are 7 most common important nutrient deficiencies. Wow! Without these 7 most important nutrients, we cannot be truly healthy. We cannot be truly wealthy. We cannot be truly happy. And we cannot be wise and perfectly balanced. In other words, without these 7 most important nutrients, we cannot be spiritually healthy. That's Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5, and that's Mark chapter 12, verse 30. You can read it. It says, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. That's the mental. You shall love the Lord your God with all your soul. That's the spiritual part. You shall love the Lord your God with all your strength. That is the physical part, the physical health. With all your heart, mental health, mentally healthy. With all your soul, that's the spiritual health, spiritually healthy. We need all these 7 most important nutrients in order to have a healthy body machine, a healthy brain, a healthy heart, the best healthy liver, and the best healthy kidney, and the best healthy body parts. What are these 7 most important nutrients? The first most important nutrient is the right amount of light. Without the nutrition of light, no one and no living things in this world can be truly healthy. The second most important nutrient is your oxygen, your air. The third most important nutrient is good quality water. And you can read Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to 4. It says the third most important nutrient is good quality water. We need water to help digest the water vitamins and other nutrients in the food we eat. The liver and for example, like we have water vitamins, like vitamin C. So we need the water for the vitamin C to have for our body for us to have good digestion of the vitamin C. We need water. You have to drink water. The liver and the kidney are the most important food poison cleaners in our bodies. Without good water, they cannot do a very good job of cleaning the food poisons we have in our blood, in our cells. The fourth most important nutrient is the best health foods in their original state. According to Genesis 1 verse 29, Isaiah 55 verse 2 and 1, Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 9, Jesus gave us his best diet plan. In this diet plan, he gave us the grass range to make bread. Like in Genesis 1 verse 29, it talks about the herbs. In Hebrew, the word herb means grass plant. Now, we need a good grass range herbs because when you look at the different grass plants like the rice, it looks like a grass plant. The barley looks like a grass plant. And the different grains, the most important grains, they look like grass plants. That's why in the Hebrew they call it the herb. But there are different types of herb. We have herb for medicine, and then we have herb for food. Now, this type of bread is not like the unhealthy bread of the world. Jesus asked one of the most important questions of life. Why do many people spend their time, their strength, and their money buying unhealthy bread, unhealthy grains that don't have good nutrition in them? This is our problem. From child, I'm not better than you. And I'm not saying I'm better than other people. So, but you need to understand this. From childhood, every one of us have been educated to eat unhealthy bread, to eat the worldly bread of the world. But many of us, we're starving ourselves because many of these breads, white bread, there's no nutrition. And so we're starving ourselves. And the problem is that many people, they are so addicted to eating this unhealthy bread. It's just like those 7 women in Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1. They have no desire to eat the good, healthy bread. They want to eat those unhealthy bread. And these bread, they do not truly satisfy us. They're not really giving us the good nutrition. Jesus answered this question and told us what type of bread we should eat and buy. What type of bread we should buy and eat. Let us read the precious words of Jesus. Why do you spend your money for what is not bread? This is talking about the worldly bread. And wages for what does not satisfy. This word satisfy means it's not nourishing. It means that many of us, we're eating bread that is not nourishing. And then Jesus said, listen carefully to me. Jesus is speaking. He said, listen carefully to me and eat what is good and let your soul. You see, we cannot have spiritual health if our physical health is bad. You see, they're interconnected. And this is what many people don't understand, that if your heart is sick, it's going to affect every part of your body. You cannot separate your heart and your body. The work that God designed, the master designer of our bodies. Jesus is the master designer. And he designed our bodies to work together. So if one part is not working, so you can see that Jesus connects the soul with the physical life. So if we're not eating physically healthy, if our health is not, we're not physically healthy, then it's going to affect your soul. This is why Jesus said, listen carefully to me and eat what is good And then Isaiah chapter 1 talks about that we need to learn to do good. Because to do good, we need to learn it. And that's what Jesus said. Listen carefully and eat what is good. Because to do good, we need to learn. It says, let your soul delight in abundance itself, in abundance. This talks about blessing. The wise group, they're experiencing, they're benefiting from the blessings of God. But the foolish, they're not. And then, this is Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 9. This is the practical application. You see, the Bible, in many parts of the Bible gives us details. But here the Bible gives us the principle in many parts of the Bible. But here it's giving us a detail. We don't see a lot of details in the Bible. What the Bible does is focus on the principle, not the details. But here in Ezekiel, Jesus is telling us this is the type of bread we need to eat. This type of bread. Because many of the bread, when we eat them, it spikes our blood sugar. When you eat the bad bread of the world, it's going to cause inflammation in your body. Why many people have joint problem and different health problems? Because they're eating that worldly bread. And the bread that Jesus ate and the bread that we're eating is two different bread. But this is the type of bread. If you want to eat bread, this is the bread. Jesus telling us, this is the bread we need to eat. Let's read it. It says, also take for yourself wheat. This is the good type of wheat. Barley, beans, and lentils, and millet, and stout. Put them together. Put them in one vessel, and make bread for yourself during the numbers of days that you lie on your side. 390 days. You shall eat it. Wow, this is the real good bread. This is the type of bread we need to eat. And then Genesis 1 verse 29, I was telling you, it says, and God said, this is Jesus speaking here, see, I have given you every herb. This herb here is called, as I said, it means grass in Hebrew. That yields seed. Every herb that yields seed is talking about the good grain. And so the good grain, they're the main meal of God made the grain to be our main meal. It's the most important meal. It's the most important part of God's diet plan. This was the diet that God was trying to give ancient Israel during the wilderness. But many of them, they didn't want to eat this type of bread. For example, if you look at Numbers 11, read it. They were tired of eating this bread. God was trying to, God wanted them to have this mind. It's a real problem we have in the world, everywhere in the world. Everywhere. This is the problem of asking God, create in me a clean heart. If everybody has the heart of Jesus, there will be no problem in this world. So Jesus wanted to give the people his mind, his heart. But they didn't want it. So Jesus gave them the bread because Jesus was trying to help them to have his mind. But they didn't want to eat this bread. This is Numbers 11. Notice the attitude of the people. But now, our whole bit is dried up, and there is nothing at all except this manna. This manna was the bread that Jesus was trying to give them. But they were tired of eating the manna. This is Numbers 11, verse 6. Now, it says here, Genesis 1, and God said, see, I've given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. You, it shall be for food. These type of health foods, in Jesus' best, NEWSTART plan, must have good grains. These grains are like herb, bearing seeds. The grass grain, the grain that can make us physically healthy. The grains that can make physical healthy bread. We get the good carbohydrates, nutrients from these these grains. This type of bread has the main nutrients to make our bodies strong and healthy. That was why the good people of the Bible, like Elijah, what did Elijah eat? Read 1 Kings chapter 17 and 18. What did the prophets long time ago, what did they eat? They ate bread and water. This is the best health. If you want to get rid of many diseases, you need to good bread, not the bad bread, not the worldly bread of the world, the bread of the world. Those are all unhealthy. White bread and all type of bread, even the bread is a trick. Some breads are so deceptive bread. But this type of bread is the best bread. That was why the good people of the Bible ate the good bread and water for 40 years. God wanted the people back then to have his mind. You see, everyone had the mind of Jesus Christ. There'll be no sickness in this world, no disease, no problem in this world. So Jesus gave us the bread and water. Jesus gave the people back. I'm talking the people back. The bread and water for 40 years. But they were tired of it. Read according to Numbers 11, verse 25. Many people got tired of it. The best of bread. They wanted to eat meat. Like those 7 women in Isaiah chapter 1. Where is it? Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. Isaiah 4, verse 1. Where is it? Isaiah 4, verse 1. Isaiah 4, verse 1. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. We will eat our own food, meaning our own bread in another Bible version, and with our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. This is the foolish blue characteristic. Now it says that these, these type of health foods must have good fats. The nut tree fats, the bean peas, the seed fats. We need these good fats, veggie fats, not animal fats, in order to help our body to digest the fat, soluble vitamins and minerals, like turmeric. Turmeric is a fat. In turmeric, you have the fat soluble vitamins. So you need to eat good fat in order for it to get the best digestion of turmeric. And also, carrot is a vitamin. It's a fat soluble vitamin. So to get good nutrition, the digestion, good digestion of those nutrients in the carrot, we need to eat good fat. So we need the good fat in order to make our hormones balanced and healthy. Insulin is an hormone, and then we have hormone for men and for women. Now, one of the problems why men and women they have menopause problems is because they're eating the bad fat. We need the good fat to get the good balance, to balance our hormones. The good fat that comes from the nuts, the seed, the beans, the grains. That's where you get the good fat. And that's why many people have diabetes because they're eating bad fat. When you eat the bad fat, you're going to get diabetes. You're going to get inflammation. These type of health foods must have good proteins, not fruit tree protein. Bean protein, peas, seeds protein, grain, herb proteins, and veggie protein. These proteins are the building blocks, ingredients of our cells, enzymes, hormones, and tissues. These type of health foods must have good nut vitamins, plant vitamins, peas, seed, grain, herb vitamins, and veg vitamins. These type of health foods must have the fruit minerals, not the fruit minerals, like coconut. It has minerals, plant minerals, beans, peas, seeds, mineral, herb mineral, grain mineral, veg mineral. The fifth most important nutrient is exercise. The sixth most important nutrient is rest. Why do many hospitals have beds? It's because many are lacking they're deficient in this nutrient of rest. That's why many hospitals they have beds. The seventh most important nutrient is this is the most important one. This is the one that the majority of the world is deficient in. The most important one. Of all the other nutrients, this one is the most important one. The seventh most important nutrient is to have the true faith by living by every word that comes from the mouth of God. This means that we need to have the true faith of Jesus Christ in order to have the best health, true healing. So many people have faith in man-made healthcare methods, in drug medication, in vaccines. These days they're learning that there's a protein in the vaccine that's killing many people. Millions have died because of this protein. This bad protein is causing many heart problems. There are so many people who profess to believe in Jesus with their mouth. As Romans says, he said many people have the wrong conception of the true faith of Jesus Christ. Romans 10, he said in Romans chapter 10, Paul gave us the true conception of what the faith of Jesus is. And Paul showed us why Asians, many of God's people, they failed. Because they were lacking the true faith of Jesus Christ. In Romans chapter, for example, in Romans chapter 10, read from verse 2, Paul gave us the revelation of Jesus Christ and showed us the real problem of why many people in ancient Israel, they failed. It's because they were lacking the true faith of Jesus Christ. It says, this is what Paul said, for Abraham witnessed that they have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. Just like today. There's so many people, they have lots of knowledge on social media, lots of knowledge, but they don't have true obedience. It's not enough for us to have knowledge. We need to have true obedience. And that's a sign that they don't have the true faith of Jesus Christ. And it's not enough for us just to have knowledge. We need to have true love. And it's not enough for us just to have knowledge. We need to have the right conception of truth, the correct understanding of truth. And this is why Paul gave us the right conception of the faith of Jesus. Many people have the wrong conception of the faith of Jesus. They think the faith of Jesus is just to profess Jesus. Profess, I believe in Jesus. But that's not the true faith of Jesus. That's a counterfeit faith, counterfeit faith of Jesus. That's a part of it, but that's not the true one. In Romans chapter 10, verse 9, Paul gave us the best definition, the right conception of what the faith of Jesus is. It says, if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus Christ and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved. This is the true faith of Jesus. Now, according to Romans chapter 10, at the same time, these people are lacking the true faith nutrient in their hearts and mind. In other words, all these people are lacking the true faith of Jesus Christ. Over and over again, you can see that Jesus has been repeating the same message of our problem, my problem. This is my problem. And that's why continually I'm praying, oh Lord, help me to have the true faith. Not the kind of faith that the majority have. This is the most important message of the Bible. For example, Jesus gave us one of the saddest conditions of the people back then. And today we have the same problem. Many don't have the true faith of Jesus Christ. When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, very important point. I say to you, I have not found so great faith. No, not in Israel. This is one of the most important messages of the Bible. One of the main reasons why so many people cannot find true healing. One of the main reasons why many people find it hard to keep the 10 commandments of Jesus Christ is because they're lacking the true faith of Jesus. This is the same reason why many people are not willing to follow Jesus' NEWSTART best healthcare principles. Long time ago, the Bible says that Jesus had enough power to heal and to do great and marvelous things. But Jesus could not heal so many people back then. Why? The Bible says it was because they were lacking the seventh, one of the most important nutrients of having the true faith of Jesus Christ. In other words, it was because at that time many people were lacking the true faith of Jesus Christ. Today, this is the same problem, the same disease of unbelief that is plaguing so many people. This is one of the biggest problems in the world today. That Jesus is the only one that had the true faith and the greatest faith in this world. Our real problem is unbelief. This is my problem. Over and over again, Jesus is trying to show us that our real problem is lacking the true faith of Jesus Christ. This is the best nutrient. There will be no sickness and no disease in this world if everyone had the true faith of Jesus Christ. There will be no problem in this world if everyone had the true faith of Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening.